All right. Well, welcome to the deeper conversation. We have Rhonda Britten on the phone with us today. The phone, like we're in the 40s or whatever, the phone,
Yeah.
the 80s. No, we're actually live streaming. This is like a whole new atmosphere. Excited to be here talking about fear and fearless joy. And we spent some time on our podcast today talking about kind of the wheel of fear. And I
And
think,
understanding exactly what it is.
yeah, what it
you
is and how
know?
it locks you in.
Yeah.
And I would love to spend some time talking about that. Now, once you're having this awareness that you're locked in by your fear, once you step off that wheel in various parts of your life, how do you lock yourself into the freedom wheel?
Yeah.
Well,
Like you said, there's a bridge, but like, is it a bridge or is it like a tightrope?
Yeah.
You know?
well, let's just put it this way: it's a bridge, but you are going to definitely feel like it's a tightrope, right? I always think of like what's that movie? When he crosses the abyss and there's no bridge, and they're like, walk across the bridge, but there's no bridge.
There's no bridge. What movie's that? I don't know.
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Raiders of the Lost
Oh
Ark.
yeah, and he throws the stones on it. He's
Faith.
Right.
It's a step out in faith. Yes.
Right.
It was
Step out in
yeah.
faith, right? And we're like, there's no bridge, okay? This isn't gonna work for me. And it's like, yeah, I know, but you got to walk out anyway. But I'm gonna die. And I'm like, yeah, I know. The old part of you is gonna die. The part of you that you no longer need is gonna die. That's absolutely right. And that's the part you're hanging on to. And frankly, that's not the part getting you anywhere. So just FYI.
Or is that the part hanging on to me because it doesn't want to die?
Well, but let's just say it's a wheel, right? It goes around and around, right? So that's the trick of it. It's like you feel like you're getting a hang of it, and then all of a sudden it's got you. So I'm just going to show you quickly the wheel of fear so you get a little picture. Okay.
Oh, I see.
Right.
Yeah.
So right. So the core trigger's here, and the core trigger you would activate it. And so just for the sake of this conversation, everyone has a unique core trigger. My core trigger will probably not be yours, but I'll just use mine as an example, is loser. Now, what does that mean? Was I ever called a loser growing up? No. Was I a straight A student? Yeah. Did anybody ever say the word loser around me? Never. So that's the thing. Your core trigger is something that you would never suspect because the wheel of fear has hidden it so well that you would never, ever associate that with yourself. Never. Right? So loser's my core trigger. Now, once you identify it and start when you start noticing your trigger, you start going, oh crap. Yep. Oh crap. That's right. Damn it. Right. But it can't be hid anymore. That's the whole point. It can't hide anymore. And then you start doing your fear responses. So you're unconscious, you got activated. You walk in a room, someone gives you a dirty look and you're activated. Right. And so now you start doing your fear responses. Giving dirty looks back, or maybe being smug, or walk out of the room and say, these aren't my people, again, whatever we do. And then we go to then if we keep doing those behaviors, if we people please enough, we know where we're going. It's called the core negative feeling. And that's when we feel that worthlessness, that aloneness, that feeling that we don't want to feel. Okay. And then when we do that feeling, we all know where we're going next. We're going to self-destructive behaviors. Okay. Yeah. So that's the wheel. And so then when we're self-destructive behaviors, then we go, well, see, I really am a loser, right? So it just spins around. But again, that's all kind of unconscious to us. So then what I teach my students to do is anywhere on that wheel of fear, you can get off it at any time.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why I say, know your fear responses. People who get too smart and too smug think like, well, I only have 3 fear responses. And I go, wow, you must be in fear a lot because everybody has more than 3. So good luck with that. Right. So I always tell my students to keep adding to their list of fear responses. The bigger list you have, the sooner you're going to identify when you're on your wheel of fear.
Wow, it's beautiful.
So
that's knowing self. That's acknowledging all parts of yourself. I think there's so much that people don't want to look at themselves because they may see it as a weakness, but it's like what? It's like looking at yourself naked. How many people don't want to get in a mirror and look at themselves naked, right? And it's like, it's the same thing. Like, look at yourself. Look at the bumps and the cellulite and the misplaced hairs and the saggy this. And it's you. It's me, and it's not about perfection. So that's interesting. It's that, like, I like that permission. I think we need to be naked.
No, I mean, it's all about permission. I mean, I always say, like, why do my students come to me after for 30 years? Why have people really come to me? What is it they're really seeking? Sure, they say they want to, get their business or they want to do this, but really, really at the core of what they really, really want is permission.
Yeah. Ooh.
And
Ooh, ooh,
because
ooh.
we have a difficult time, right, to give it to ourselves, because
Yes.
fear is so clever and it sounds just like us.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
don't know the difference. That's why we get confused, right? That's why we avoid. That's why we procrastinate, right? Because we have, all this conversation inside of us, and all the sides sound really smart, and we're really smart.
Wow.
So, hey, like our smartness, again, like I said, gets in our way. So the minute you see a fear response, let's say you're procrastinating or you're overwhelmed or you're irritated, okay? Minute you identify it, instead of saying, "Oh my God, I shouldn't be irritated. Oh my God, that's so bad. I'm such a horrible person. That's so mean of me." No, no, people pleasing. Oh my God, why am I people pleasing? I've got to stop that. I'm so weak. No, Instead, you simply say, "Oh, that's a fear response. I am in a fear response right now."
Yeah.
So again, you disconnect it from your identity, like Natalie was saying, right?
I
And
love
then the
it.
minute you can identify it, what do you do instead? Well, don't worry. I've got the solution. Stay with me.
Here it comes. Here it comes.
Okay?
This is what we've been waiting all day for.
Freedom,
Oh,
Natalie.
everybody take a deep breath.
Okay.
Freedom.
Okay,
All right.
everybody has one of these too. Everybody's got one.
Thank God.
So the minute so let's say I'm irritated or procrastinating, and I go, I'm doing a fear response. Stop. What do? Oh, I got to go over to my wheel of freedom. What's my essential nature? My essential nature, again, yours is probably going to be different. Everybody has a unique wheel of fear and a unique wheel of freedom. It's personalized, unique, spoke. And so my wheel of freedom, my essential nature is authentic. So when I'm in fear, authentic hides.
Yeah.
Okay. I, Rhonda Britten, when I am triggered, right? When I'm activated, being authentic is dangerous. I am the queen of chameleons for most of my life. If my boyfriend liked rock music, I liked rock music. If he liked country music, I liked country music. If he liked Mexican food, I liked Mexican food. How many things I've purchased over the years because of a guy. I mean, I dated a rock climber. Oh, you bet I got those rock
Oh man, you were into rock climbing.
Rock climb. I took avalanche courses.
Wow.
I did ice climbing. Okay, because he did it, I did it. Okay. Right. So, and then I had a musician guy, and I bought all this expensive equipment because I had to have it because of him. Right. So I had no sense of self when I'm afraid, when I'm in fear, when I'm triggered, when I'm scared. Right. Any words that you want. My authenticity is something that I keep safe and protected, and so I hide it.
Wow.
Right.
But again, to get from fear to freedom, I must be the very thing. So, but I want you just to wrap your head around how tricky this is. If I practice being authentic, and as we've talked about already, we are going to be activated, right? When we're going to be activated. If I practice being authentic, could the feeling of loser come up for me? Oh, yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, you get to face, so you get to, you get to,
100%. So, right?
Let me think about that. Yes.
Yeah. So and the good news is that dissipates as you get better at it. But in the beginning, right? Because again, the wheel of fear has such a hold on us. If I start being authentic, my wheel of fear is going to come up loud and be like, who you are, right? Like, who are you, a loser, right? And again, it may not say that word to me, but it's going to give me that.
Well, it's going straight for the heart so that you jump right back on the fear of the wheel of fear, right? It's going to go for the jugular. Yeah. So when when I just feel like there's some places people probably naturally feel more confident in but then there's these other places that are real triggers, right? So it's like feels like a dance. You're kind of going back and forth on this journey, but it really will say the meanest things to get you back onto the wheel of fear.
Yes, and the good news is your job is to stay awake.
Yeah. To yourself,
right? So,
stay awake to yourself.
For yourself.
For yourself. Amen. I love it.
And your joy and your happiness.
Yes.
And living a life.
For your freedom. Freedom. You cannot take away my freedom.
For your empowerment, for your powerfulness, right? For it all, for trusting yourself, right?
Yeah.
So when you buy into fear because you have believed that you are a procrastinator, therefore you've self-identified, and therefore it is part of who you think it's a character flaw, that is again a disguise that fear takes on.
Yeah.
So when you get on the wheel of freedom, so I, Rhonda Britten, get triggered, right? I'm procrastinating, or I get irritated, or some guy gives me a dirty look. I'm triggered. I'm activated. I got to go, Rhonda. That's a fear response. Name it. Fear response. Okay, what do? Go on your wheel of freedom. First action. What would you do right now if you were in your essential nature? What would you do if you're being authentic right now?
How do I be?
What?
Yeah. I don't know what's going on. I feel very uncomfortable right now. Yeah.
What else you got?
You're crazy, right? And this is where you go to the next step. It's called proactive behaviors. And all your proactive behaviors that you come up with beforehand, because when you're triggered, you're not going to remember any proactive behaviors.
No.
Right?
That's right.
So you got to come up with them that they align with your essential nature. So I help people come up with all their proactive behaviors. And then this is the trick. I ask them to come up with proactive behaviors for certain situations. Family Thanksgiving, have your proactive behavior, right? When you're on a date, have a proactive behavior. In a relationship, have a proactive behavior. With yourself, have a proactive behavior, right?
Yeah.
With your best friend, have a proactive behavior. Now, they might all be the same proactive behavior, but I want you to memorize that proactive behavior, because again, we go into avoidance, freeze, right?
Go back to the wheel.
So give us an example, Rhonda, an example of a proactive behavior.
So, okay, so let's say I've got that irritating guy, or I'm triggered by procrastination. So my job is to be authentic. So what is a proactive behavior? Obviously, one quickly I could do is just take a nice deep breath, or count to 10. Or as I tell my students all the time, if you're on your wheel of fear and you can't think straight, jump into the bathroom.
Yeah.
Get to the bathroom as fast as you can.
Yeah.
Where were you in the bathroom so long? You have to stay in there 20 minutes, so be it. And I have 20 minutes until I could get back to center, right? But other things that I could do personally for my personal wheel of freedom, i.e. is authentic, is I could actually tell myself what I'm thinking and feeling. I could say things like what I said earlier is, I'm willing to say, I feel vulnerable right now. Or I'm nervous right now.
So can I ask a question? Because I'm having this moment in my own head about this, where I'm like, maybe it's like, so is the wheel of fear awareness and the wheel of freedom practice?
Well, let's just say I'll say yes. I'll say yes.
But I'm wondering, like, because I don't have to practice my wheel of fear. I got that.
No, you don't have to practice your wheel of fear at all. No.
It's like thinking how perfect
Don't
I
get
am
good
on
at that
wheel.
shit.
I'm so good at that. Right.
You definitely have to become aware. And the wheel of freedom is practice, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And there are tons of tools I've created to help you see different ways of how to do that. Which all these tools, I've created 40 tools and concepts to help people to really see, like, they're in this situation, use this tool. And again, you can come up with favorite 3 tools, just like your 3 favorite proactive behaviors, right? Things that you love. But for me, I have to say, well, if I was being authentic right now, what would I do? And take that proactive behavior. So am I willing to say what I need? Am I willing to say what I feel? Am I willing to ask what I want? Am I willing to, right? Like, most of my life, the answer was no to that.
Yeah.
100%. Now, other people have no problem with that. Authentic isn't their wheel of freedom, right? Because they already can do that.
Yeah.
Those blunt people can say whatever they want to say whenever they want to say.
I call some of those people, I call them assholes.
Assholes.
I'm like, how do they have that skill set? They rub
They just have it all the time.
It's amazing. God bless them.
And what they need to learn, though, because I have somebody in my life like that, yes, it's a fearless act. Yet what they need to learn is to filter through compassion, right? Or love, or innocence, right? So they have the skill of
diplomacy or something.
Being authentic. But now it's right now it's the nuance of how to be inclusive, and how to say innocent, and how to be expansive, right?
Wow.
All those nuances that we have to do, because the wheel of fear is like a gross, big, flops around. The wheel of freedom is very refined.
It's the fine tuning. It's the fine tuning, right?
The wheel of fear feels like a energy vortex. It feels like an energy vortex that just keeps you in this loop. Yeah.
100%. And if you are not aware, and that's the thing, depending on the classes you're taking, the books you're reading, you might become aware of some of your fear responses, right? But most people, not all people, obviously, depending on who you're studying with, but many people. This is the thing that I work with coaches on. It's like, I had a coach in my class the other day, and she's like, well, my client is self-sabotaging. I'm like, no, nobody ever self-sabotages. No, that is not, nope. And I don't believe people resist either, because your wheel of freedom does not self-sabotage and your wheel of freedom does not resist. So if you are resisting and you're self-sabotaging, then you're on the wheel of fear.
Then you're on the wheel of fear,
So you are not doing that.
Yeah.
You are not doing that.
Yeah.
So when she was saying, my client is self-sabotaging, I'm like, nope.
They're on the wheel of fear. Because even that language, I love the permission it gives. And again, it just sounds like a really beautiful definition of how to be love and kind to yourself. Right? Because we're really mean to ourselves. And it's that fear that wants us to beat ourselves up and to throw tantrums and to argue and to be defensive and like all that quagmire of blah, right?
Yes.
But the fear, the freedom is like the fine tuning. It's the love. It's the self-acceptance. It's the playfulness. I think you can play. There's so much.
That's right.
Our definition of joy is just open yourself. You know, Jay, why? Just open yourself. And how fear, I just feel like keeps you closed so it can keep you on the wheel. You know?
Yeah, or it might make you loud or brash, right? Yeah. So that's the thing, like it doesn't show up the same way.
No, for different people. Yeah.
So that's the thing. It's really about one of the things that when I work with people, it shows up differently. It's going to show up differently for Natalie versus you versus me. Yeah. And that is our work, you know, I'm gonna lay out we call it mapping the wheels. Yeah. You're gonna map your wheels so that you can see how yours work.
Beautiful.
And you can't like cheat and look at somebody else's wheel. You can't do it.
Yeah, right? It's your wheel.
Right, it's your wheel.
That's right.
Right.
I love it.
And you're the one filling it in.
Yeah.
And then once you can see it, then you have more choice, because what people experience when they find their wheel of fear for the first time, the number one thing I hear is this explains my entire life.
Yeah, it really does. It's a beautiful framework. I mean, for sure. Like, it's amazing. That's what I've always loved about you. Every time I've ever listened to you, I walk away with practical, usable. It just feels, I love how tangible you are. I love how present you are. I love how you take what is the most complex about human beings and you simplify it in a way that does give people the freedom to just be in choice. So I love you and I appreciate you. And wow, this has been an awesome conversation.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So we'll make sure that people will get a link to the quiz, because we sent out a newsletter on Sunday, the Sunday Fun Day newsletter. So we'll make sure that's included in there as well.
Awesome.
Well, you know, we're the Joy Jolt, darling. It's all about
there you go. And I can give them that quiz with a little link for sure.
There you go.
I love it. Oh, all right.
All right. Well, thank you again, darling.
All right. Well, there's nothing wrong with you. It's just fear. Nothing wrong with you. It's just fear. Nothing wrong with you. It's just fear.
I'm going to just open myself to that. That's right. There's nothing wrong with it.
Open
yourself. That's right. Boom.
Boom. Done. All right. Lovely ladies. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you next week.